Welcome to Sumita Roy's English Classroom. I'm Professor Sumita Roy, and today we are going to talk about speaking confidently. You must remember that whatever you say, there should be no hesitation in saying it. Do not worry about making mistakes. I have been repeating this again and again that if we make mistakes, we learn better. If you want to speak without making mistakes, then you will never learn to speak. Because initially, all of us make mistakes, and from the mistakes, we learn. It is like a person going to a sea coast or to an ocean and saying that I will go into the ocean when the waves stop. The waves never stop. The sea water, the ocean water is always the waves keep coming to the shore. So if you say I will step into the water when there are no waves, that is not possible. So if you say that I will speak English only when I don't make any mistakes, then that is not going to happen. You must speak English confidently. That means having faith in yourself. You must say that, yes, I can speak English if I try hard. How hard you have to try depends on what your level is. Suppose your level is very, very basic. You can understand English, but you cannot speak a single sentence. Then you have to practice more. You have no confidence because you have never practiced English. There are others who are able to carry out a simple conversation, but when it comes to slightly higher level, they run into problems, especially in situations where you meet strangers. You need a lot of confidence to carry out a conversation in English because they are strangers, they are not people you know. Suppose you go for an interview. Suppose you have an appointment with somebody who speaks only English. You have gone for something, but that person speaks only English. Then you need to communicate in English. And there you feel your self confidence becomes zero. That is where the problem lies. We should build up our confidence by practicing. The more you practice, the better your confidence level becomes. For instance, any job, suppose you want to cross, you're walking and you want to cross a busy road. You see, there is so much traffic, you don't have the confidence to go across. So you keep waiting at one end. You have to go to the other end, but you're not able to go because you don't have that kind of confidence. Then what happens? Another person comes and you take that person as your companion. You say, are you crossing this road? That person says, yes, I'm crossing the road. I do it every day. Then you hold on to that person and you go across. So that is how these videos are. These videos are the person who will take you across from this side where you don't know English to the other side where you can confidently speak English. That confidence I'm trying to instill in all of you. And that is why I'm spending a lot of my effort and energy to try to help you. But I cannot help any of you unless you help yourselves. Because I cannot come to you and speak wherever you have to speak. I cannot be the proxy who's speaking. You must have seen ventriloquists. They have a doll, and the ventriloquist speaks. You feel as though the doll is speaking, the person is not speaking. So, ventriloquism is a very interesting thing which children love watching. They feel that the toy is speaking, but that cannot be done in real life. We cannot have, like, in the movies, the actors move their lips and the singers, playback singers, sing the song. So the song is played, the actor is not singing, but he or she is only moving the lips. That cannot be done in real life. When you have to use the language, you have to use it yourself. And that is why confidence is required. So you will ask me a question: how to build up the confidence? First step to build up confidence is to have faith in yourself. Why don't you have confidence to speak English? Because you don't have faith that you know English. You feel, I don't know English. These are the mails and messages which come to me almost every day, at least 5 or 10 of them. They say they are writing to me in English, maybe wrong English, doesn't matter. But they say, we don't know English. What do they have? They have no faith in themselves. They know enough English to write an email or to send a WhatsApp message, but they say that they do not know English. You can say, I do not know good English. I need to learn better English. But that is not what they are saying. They are saying, I do not know English. Please help, madam, I do not know English. This is a usual subject. So I would recommend to all of you that first you have faith in yourself. How will you have faith in yourself? That is a second question you might ask. How should we have confidence? Confidence comes when you start believing that you can learn English, that you can speak English. The second is, how should we have this faith? This faith comes when you spend some time every day with English. Please remember that you need to spend some time with the language. Spending some time with the language would mean that you listen to it. I have been telling you that I have given so many videos in the last 2 or 3 months, not even 3 months, I think, are over, and you have more than 50 videos. Imagine listening to all of them at once. It's not possible. So phase it out. Check out how you are going to listen. Prepare your own timetable and then go ahead to follow that timetable. Every day, if you listen to English for some time, that is spending time with the language. You might be fortunate to be surrounded by people who speak to you in English. In your office, in your college or school, in your neighborhood, there might be people who are speaking English all the time. You don't feel confident, so whenever you meet them, you keep silent. But don't worry, even silence is a learning method. Silently observe their language. Silently listen to their language. Silently see how they are using the language. If 2, 3 people are speaking in a meeting, sit quietly and listen to what they are saying, not only the meaning, but in what language they are expressing themselves. When you spend an hour or two at least per day, you will find that in a week your English has become better. You don't have to wait for gaining confidence. Your confidence develops every day. Not necessary to wait for a long time, not 6 months, not 1 year, but just a week. But for this, you have to spend time with the language. Listening is one way of spending time with the language. The other is reading. Suppose you have no time to read hundreds of pages each day. Make it a part of your discipline to read at least a few pages every day, few pages of English. If you read every day, you might, want to repeat what you have read again. Because the first time, we are not concentrating on learning English. We are concentrating on what the passage tells us. We are thinking about information. So, information is very good. We need information to be confident in any situation. If you have the facts, then you gain confidence. But if you have all the facts, but you don't have the language to put it in, language is the medium. You have the facts, but you need to put it in language. And therefore, the language structures have to come to your mind even when you have the facts. So, your confidence level depends on how much of listening and speaking you are doing. Suppose you spend 1 hour per day for English, you are absolutely, without any confidence. Your confidence level is very, very low. Then start today. As soon as you finish listening to this video, start today and say, I will follow these, procedures in order to become better in English. I will listen and I will read every day. If you can spare 1 hour, if you sleep 1 hour less, or if you watch television 1 hour less, or if you, don't spend time with your friends or other recreational activities, you try to cut down your time, you try to manage your time and somehow get out some hour or 2 hours for English every day. Every day means including Sundays and Saturdays and holidays. Every day you keep that, religiously you keep that amount of time for English. Then what happens? What you gain is that you either listen or you read, or you do both. You listen and you read. Both you can do. If you have 2 hours, 1 hour each. If you have 1 hour, then half an hour each. Reading and listening. The best way of reading and the best way of listening is to take the same passage and do it again and again. This way, you will benefit a lot. I think I have made a few videos, or maybe one video or two videos on listening. I will try to make many videos on listening because you have the passage, you are looking at the passage. As I read out the passage to you, you listen to it. As you look at the passage, you read it, both listening and reading, your ears and your eyes. These are the two tools which will help you to learn the language, to learn anything for that matter. And here we are talking about English. So if you want to learn English, then do this. If you do it for a week, then you can tell me how much your confidence level has improved. Now, the next level is, after listening and speaking, you have to repeat. Whatever you listened to today, in this video, whatever I'm telling you, when the video gets over, I hope all of you are watching the full video. Once the video is finished, switch it off. Talk about what you have heard in this video. If you don't have a friend, stand in front of your mirror and talk about it. Look at yourself and talk about what you heard in this video. You will find, looking at yourself whether you're looking confident or not. A person who's confident stands straight or sits straight. A person who's confident looks at the person who's speaking. Since now there is nobody except you in the mirror, you have to look straight at that person. When I'm making the video, I'm looking at the camera so that I get a glimpse of all of you who are remote students. Many of you refer to Ekalavya. One day in storytelling, I will talk to you about Ekalavya. This is what storytelling. Listen to a story and then you say it out yourself in your own words. Don't try to learn it by heart and repeat. I'm not saying that. You have understood. You have listened to the English which was used. Now try to use your own English, not the English which you heard in the listening passage, but your own English with the same meaning as the passage and speak. You might find that after saying 4 sentences, you have forgotten. Come back to the video again. Watch it once more. Try once more. You can imagine how many days you can spend with a single video. But you're gaining confidence. First day when you stand in front of the mirror, you will keep hesitating. You'll keep moving from side to side. You feel like scratching your head. You feel like doing this or doing this. You keep, doing that to your hands. Or if you have a pen in your hand, if you keep moving that pen, we are restless because the mind is struggling. The body's action is when the mind is struggling. That is what we call restlessness. That shows lack of confidence. For those of you who are appearing for an interview, many mails I get, Madam, my interview is in 3 months. Please help. You have to help yourself. Please remember, I'm there only to support you like a stick. But the actual help, the actual activity has to be done by you. So, what you have to do is when you go into the interview hall, if you sit straight, if you don't fiddle with the papers, you take some papers and you keep doing this, then you keep clutching the table, or you keep, doing that, or you keep wiping your face with your handkerchief. These tell the interviewer already that you're very nervous, that you have no confidence. Before opening your mouth, you have lost your job. Therefore, to speak confidently is what we require to do. Now, that is what I was telling you, that if you can look at yourself, this is called non-verbal communication or body language. If you stand in front of the mirror and keep looking at yourself, you will gain confidence. Tomorrow, when a stranger is standing in front of you, you will gain the confidence to look at the stranger, make eye contact, and speak to the stranger. So, this speaking exercise is very important. I have given you so many dialogues, 14 dialogues of verbs or, conversation practice, beginners, advanced level, mid level, so many conversations. You take that paper and, stand in front of the mirror, look at one conversation, say it aloud. Look at the second piece, second sentence, say it aloud. In this way, keep saying it aloud one by one. Then keep the paper aside. Now it is all there in your mind. I'm not saying you should learn by heart. Please remember, I'm not saying memorize. It is not an exercise in memorizing. It's an exercise in recreating what English you have heard. So you heard those 14 dialogues which I gave for practicing verbs, or you will get them, and there you have the meaning. Now you go to the mirror and you make your own conversation and look at yourself when you are saying these things. Look at the words you're using. Look at the sentences you're using. Are you pausing properly? Are you saying the correct word in the correct place? Are you misusing any of these things? These you have to observe. First, observe how you're standing. Looking at yourself, will others feel confident that you know English? Speaking confidently does not mean only confidence of yours. It means that others should feel confident that you are speaking well. Now, the next point of speaking confidently is that you go out, not your mirror anymore, go out and start practicing. Suppose you go to a shop, you have gone to buy some stationery or some books, or you have gone to buy some, electronic gadgets, or you've gone to buy something expensive. There, usually, the people might know some English. So you start the conversation in English. Usually, we would start in our local language. That is very comfortable. And the salesperson will know the language. You will also be comfortable with that language. But that doesn't help us to become confident in English. That doesn't help us at all. Then we start in English by saying, "Today I want to buy something. This is what I want to buy." Then the other person replies in English. You continue the conversation in English. Suppose that person hesitates. Then you ask, "Are you comfortable with English, or should we speak another language?" Only then you go to the other language. This will build up your confidence even if you do not know English. Many of you might not know very good English. Many of you might not want perfect English. You are not going to be English teachers. So I don't need to teach you that English which is perfect for teaching others. I'm trying to only help you to use the language in your communication. Whenever you want to use English, are you able to do it confidently? That means having faith in yourself. This confidence comes when you are, listen and read first, then speak to yourself, and then speak to others. Once you have spoken to people who know little language, then try to look for others who have better language. You will be able to find this in your workplace. If you go to an office, there might be some people whose English is much better than yours. You try to avoid them by saying, "Oh, their English is so good, I should not go anywhere near them." I heard so many stories of this in many countries, not only in one or two countries, where people whose mother tongue is not English struggle like that. They talk only to each other in their local language, although they are in an English speaking country. And then people know that they have no confidence in speaking. So, building up your confidence in speaking is very important. And that will come only with practice. The more you practice, the better it becomes. Speaking practice, I've already told you the ways in which you have to do speaking practice, you must remember these. And unless you do this, you will not be able to speak at all. You will always hesitate. You will always stand at the end and say, "Okay, I will not go into the water because there are waves." Make mistakes. Enjoy making mistakes. That is what I keep telling. That if somebody laughs at you, you lose your confidence. It should be exactly the opposite. If somebody laughs at you, you say, "Okay, today somebody has laughed at me. I will speak so well that nobody will laugh at me." That is motivation. And this motivation makes you acquire confidence. If one person laughs at you and you feel very unhappy, then allow 100 people to laugh at you. Then you'll get used to it. Okay, every time I speak English, somebody laughs at me. Very good. Let me practice more. If people are still laughing at me, That means I need to do much more of listening, much more of reading, and much more of speaking to myself. Then, I also told you in one video about thinking. When you are talking to yourself in your mind, start thinking in English. Real confidence comes when you have more and more time devoted to English. Today, you start with 1 hour. Tomorrow, after a week, 10 days, 1 month, you might increase that to 2 hours. On a day when you are free, spend 3, 4 hours. On a day when you're busy, you might miss out. So those 4 hours make up for another 2 days when you could not spend 2 hours. In this way, you have to be your best friend. Self confidence is what you require. You cannot borrow confidence from anyone. If you want, madam, please give some confidence, 1 kilo of confidence, or 1 teaspoon of confidence. I cannot do it. There's no way anybody else can make you confident. You have to become confident yourself, because there is a famous saying that self confidence is the key to success. Today, we are talking about success in speaking English. So, what is the key? The key is, the solution. The key is something which unlocks whatever capabilities you have within. All of us have the capability of learning 5, 10, 15, 20 languages, not only one language. But many of us spend our life learning only a single language. Don't do that. Don't waste your talent which you have for learning languages. All of us have it. It is not only one person who has it. In childhood, if you heard 3, 4 languages, you would have learnt it easily. Before you go to school, if you learn 3, 4 languages, then your language ability becomes better. This we have to keep in mind. As we grow older, we become self conscious, we become shy, we become hesitant, and then we don't like to speak anymore. Therefore, gaining confidence would mean that the only method of reaching success in speaking is by developing confidence. I have given you some ideas as to how you can develop confidence. Of course, I feel happy if you watch the videos, but watching is only one step. Watching the video and doing what I'm telling you to do is important. From the first video till today, I have told you many things which are there to make you confident. Every video can add to your confidence. But that is if you see the entire video with full concentration. You keep the video on and you roam around everywhere. You keep the video on and you talk on your phone. It is not helping you. It is just that you are, you know, telling yourself, you're actually cheating yourself, saying that I'm watching the video, but you are not. 100% concentration in listening, speaking, reading is necessary for building confidence. And once you have confidence, nobody can stop you from learning excellent English. It is our lack of confidence which is a hurdle. So I want you to overcome that hurdle. I have given you some ideas in this video, and I'm sure if you do what I have told you, you will be able to get excellent English. Every step is a move towards excellence. Every step is a move towards the highest perfection which you can reach. I wish you all the best and thank you for watching. Please share these videos also with all people who are interested in learning English, whom you know, because I cannot prepare a video and answer my mail and answer, the messages. It becomes too difficult. Therefore, I request all the people who are watching the videos to please share them widely so that those who are interested can benefit from what all I'm telling you, from all the energy I'm spending in order to help you learn English. Thank you.